Hello and welcome to yet another episode of We Talk with Jaka CCJT on the Fatu Network, and I am your host, as usual, Jaka CCJT. It's a very beautiful day here in Gunjur, and we have a Gunjur native, a native from Gunjur, joining us today. But let's take a look at who our guest for this week's episode is. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Well, yes, our guest for this week's episode is Hatab Jobe. He is a native of Gunjur. Hatab is into the transportation business as well as animal husbandry, and of late he also has a cement shop that he operates. He is a very hard-working Gambian, and that is why we decided to come all the way to Gunjur and show to you people who Hatab Jobe is and the amazing work that he has been doing. Hatab, it's great to have you on the show.
You're welcome, Yaka. Thank you very much. I am Mr. Hatab Jobe, a native in Gunjur, born in the year 1978, 6 May 1978. I attended Gunjur Primary School from 1985 to 1992. Then sat to the first batch of the primary school leaving certificate exam. Then proceed to Kotu Junior Secondary School, where I do my junior schools. Then from Kotu, I sat in the first batch of the junior secondary school exam and moved to New Start Senior Secondary School.
Yeah.
Where the period at Kotu was from 1992 to 95.
No.
Then from 95 to 98, I went to New Start for a senior secondary school program. Then immediately after completing New Start Senior Secondary School, there was a program organized by the Ministry of Education in collaboration with Nova Scotia Gambia Association, where we do some trials on the mini university programs. That was like 3 months. Then I got an entry qualifications to join the University of the Gambia. So from 2002 to 2006, I joined the University of the Gambia, studied development studies as a major and sociology as a minor. From there, I decided to serve a little as a telecenter operator to see, to make a connection, because that time there was a problem in the community in Gunjur. When you want to have phones, then there was no mobile phone. It was very difficult, and most of the times the Gamtel offices closed very early. So we decided to create a telecenter that will help people to have access, because you have so many businesses that operate at night. So if Gamtel closes, you have to wait up to the next day. So we said, as Gambians, we have to be creative and do something. So the first business I do, and that leads to every idea that I accomplish, came as a result of a telecenter operator, not only on the financial side, but to create one job employment for myself and to help people connect them in their communication skills. From there, I decided to work for a brother in which we bring materials from the UK to the Gambia, but short-lived within 1 year. I decided to go in for a trust as a cultural program, because I am born from the Jobian family. Anybody who knows by Job as a Jobian in the Gambia, when it comes to transportations, we are the pioneers of that in the community. As the saying goes, whatever your parents do, if you proceed in those ones, normally you succeed. But with hard work, commitment and dedication,
you will achieve what you want. So let's come back to how life was growing up as a child. How was life growing up as a child and as a native of Gunjur?
Yeah, it was challenging like any other guys. As Africans or as Gambians, we believe in getting things very, very rapidly. It was challenging with me, especially when we are growing as kids. We grew as other normal kids did. Struggles in the community, go to school. When we come down, at that time, you don't even bother yourself in the community in Gunjur to go and study. Never knowing that, once you are committed and you are contacted with education, you can achieve anything. We never knew our potential when we are young, unless when we go out, see what people do in the greater Banjul areas, where people have greater opportunities than we do. Because at that time, when we have the common entrance exam or the junior secondary school exam, most of the good results come out from the greater Banjul area.
That's true.
It's not because they are more intelligent than us, but at that time, the situation was like that. They have more access to more higher educational system and learning materials. You have the libraries, you have everything. But not knowing that we have the same skills and the same programs with them when it comes to education. What happens in the villages at that time was, from school, you don't have anything to do, you play, you do all kind of stuff. But through our contacts with our sisters who got an employment in the Serekunda, who were introducing those systems to us, we managed to accept what they do. Unfortunately for me, from my junior schools, from my primary schools, I moved to the greater Banyan areas. But as we all believe, most of the times what happens to us, when you go into school, you think that you will get, once you graduate,
you get employment very easily.
You never, just don't realize that that is where the problems start. It's either you have very good grades and you have the connections. Sometimes you can have very good grades, but you don't have the connections, you don't get them. So that's exactly how we are doing. But fortunately for me, actually, I have to thank God immediately. I can tell you, the week I completed my senior secondary school and the day I started the telecenter operation was less than 1 month. Wow. So you have to think beyond time. If I finish this one, if this other one is not available, what do you do? So that is exactly what forced me to start working at that level. Okay. So when I started trying to see that I'm solving a particular social problems, earning money, I enjoyed working for myself and increasing.
So let's say the degree you acquired from the university also served as an inspiration for you to start a telecenter, wasn't it? No, you started the telecenter before university?
No, the telecenter I started the telecenter immediately I finished the senior secondary school.
Oh, okay.
That is from Newsrad. I started as a telecenter operator.
Okay.
Whilst doing that one, in fact, I did not concentrate on that full time. I said, yes, because I finished, I don't have to stay like what the other youths are doing. I have to start that one. But even with doing that one, I try to employ a second person who works with me. So what we do is in the morning, whilst I was going to the trial at the GTTI program, that guy will sit for me. So from school, I'll just come down and continue the afternoon shift. So that's exactly how I start my program.
Yeah. So you acquired a degree in development study and sociology. How is that helping you currently? Right now, you're into animal husbandry, as well as you have a transportation business, and at the same time, you now have a cement shop. How has that helped you?
Yeah, thank you very much, Yaka. When you want to control people's program, you have to control their educational system. You know, growing up in a community like this, with the background I have in development studies, I've seen the trouble that we have in the Gambia, or Africa in general. The educational background at any level or at any sector will support the progress and the positive nature of your program. Because of that development background that I have from the university, I was able to interact with people at different levels, from the bottom to the higher, or from the higher to the bottom. Because if you look at the nature of my job, you as a person knows what I do. My operation,
it deals with people.
It deals with people.
Interacting with people.
It deals with different communities. From Kartong to Koina. There is no major village in this country that I have not been to.
Wow.
That gives me, in addition to my educational background, that support me to go out and deal with people at all levels and at all regions, helps me a lot. And that one, sometimes as some people said, education is not all about what you learn in the class, but how you interact with the different agents of development in the society. But altogether, as you said, the educational background that I have on development gives me a very strong background to proceed in what I'm doing.
So now let's look at the businesses that you do. We start off with the transportation business that you're doing. How did that start? How did it start?
Yeah, it all started in 2010 when I was doing a construction program for my brother, a cousin brother, where we wanted to build a state-of-the-art self-contained house in Gunjur. Then we need some materials at Gym Packs. You don't have such materials in the community here. You have to go to Serekunda, buy your materials, bring them here. Knowing the type of person I am, anytime I want to work, I want to make sure that I started work very, very early in the morning. You will have your money in your hand. You will have everything in your hand. The only thing that you need is a transport that did not belong to us. you will be booking for sometimes for 3, 4, 5 days. You cannot even have a vehicle in the village. Sometimes when you get it, you get disappointed. So I said, okay, this is a hell amount of money that you pay to people, and still they're not committed to their job. And this is a job that is going to cost a lot of money. And I have enough money at that time to buy one to serve my business in my work at that time, and I can use it again to raise more money. Within 3 months, I decided, okay, you know what? I have to decide and buy a small truck for me. That was a Gele Mercedes-Benz. I can remember it was 208 at that time, and I wrote on the vehicle, Dokula, that is a worker in the local language. Though I'm a Wolof, I was going to write Ligekat, but based on the fact that I live in this community, and what is important is for people to understand the message that I'm trying to put across. Up to date, all my vehicles that I bought are written Dokula. So that is the reason why, I decided to buy that one. And within 3 months, based on the way I work, I start to generate money. Within 4 months, I bought it. At that time, I bought it for 200,000, and within 3 months, I was able to cover that one.
Wow.
It makes my job very, very reliable and easy. I earn money, and I said, okay, this is a very good business that I can work, but with a good commitment. I was able to impress people. It goes to a time, everybody rely on me in Gunjur, and as I said again in the telecenter business, there was a social problem that I want to help. That was the communication system in the village. You can ask anybody in Gunjur. When I was operating a telecenter, I opened by 8 o'clock and I closed sometimes by 2 o'clock at night.
Wow.
So it was so reliable that anytime you want to work, you come to me, you can have your communication. The same goes to the transport system. When I start working, sometimes I woke up by 4 o'clock at night. Wow. Help these petty traders. Most of the times, those dealing with fish in the orange season, I help them. I help some people to grow from nothing to something. There was a guy that I link up. I told him, if you create this one, I'll make sure that I help you in the transport. So within 3 months, he was able to raise 250,000. Wow. So I connect people with their transport and the problems that were happening in the village, booking for vehicles or getting them at very high, I solved that one. So that is the inspiration that I get in that one. When I started with one. Within 2 years, I got 2. By the 4th year, I got 4 vehicles with my own private, that anytime I want to deal my own deals, I can just go and chill out at the places like this ones, and I can do my work without any
And when it comes to business, the trucks are already ready?
On the road.
Okay. Yeah. So currently, you still have 4, or how many vehicles do you have?
I got 4 with me, but the 2 are privates, with the one that I am turning into a commercial one, because it makes no sense to have 2 privates at a time when I'm weaving with the trucks, carrying out most of my programs, and the 2 privates, one is being used by me because I like that other one, but the other one is being parked. So there is a guy who needs employment, and he said he can deal with that one. So to avoid wasting time and energy on that vehicle, if it is going to create employment for another person, it's better I give him the employment, earn money out of that, and that's how I decide to do it. But at the moment, I got 3 with me, but I am purchasing 2 based on the nature of my business, because me, I don't like getting vehicles that cannot serve long distance. Normally now, I got some projects, especially these water projects, from here up to Koina. This month alone, I went to Basse for 3 times. So if you're going that far, you don't need vehicles that will give you a problem. So I send money to a friend in Germany who is buying 1 bigger truck, 15-ton trucks for me, depending on the load that I carry and the distance that I cover. Wow. So as of now, I got 3, 1 truck, 2 private cars, but inshallah, by the end of January, I'll be having 3 trucks with 2. So through that transportation business, how many people have you employed? I employed about 4 people, because the truck that I'm driving, I do that one with somebody based on the nature of my program activities, because I'm involved in so many community activities right now. I'm the chairperson of the Gunjur Development Association, where you meet me meeting today. I have a local football team where I grew up. And, because we involve in so many social activities, most of the times I engage myself in activities. So I decided to choose another driver that I work with. So when I'm on my meetings, he just goes onto the transport business. But as of now, I employ 4 people with the truck business, and I'm employing 2 extra persons on the cement business, which we will provide evidence. We will go to the shop. We will have a source of the videos at the shops and other activities that we are doing, which Yaka as a person knows, but the other people knows, but they will be shown in the video.
Inshallah.
And these are some of the things that I do at the moment.
See, when I tell you guys that he's a hard worker, he is definitely a hard worker. Now let's come to the animal husbandry. How is the business going, and what led you to start a business such as that?
Thank you very much, Yaka. That is in fact, as of now, that's the best thing that I like. Interacting with animals will make you understand certain things about life.
Okay.
To be a shepherd, even in our region, in Islam, when you proceed as a shepherd for 4 years, if God help you, you become something in this world. It's all started at a time when I used the same transport that led back to this other one. You all remember, during the course of the Tobaski period, the price of rams skyrocketed. A ram that you can buy 3,000, they'll sell it to you at 8,000. A ram that you get 8,000 will go to 16,000. I got my transport, very good transport that can move from here to Dakar. Okay, there are people in the community that I connect to go and do ram business to make sure that they provide ram for people during the Tobaski at an affordable price. They said, we don't have a transport. I said, I can help you with the transport. What we normally do is we move from the Gambia to Mbirikilan in Senegal, or Gabon, or Misira. You'll be surprised to see very, very small or very big animals at very minimal price. But when they come, they more than double the prices. So I said, okay, we can do this one. Looking at the nature of our environment in the Gambia, we have more grass than Senegal. We have more grazing place than Mali. And these are people like us. Sometimes we have more resources than them. But the only thing that they do, they coordinate themselves into a program, get some animals, keep them at a place. Within a short period of time, they give birth to young ones. And, within 1 year, when you spend 40,000 on rams, you can get more than 120,000. So I said, okay, you know what I do as a short-term program? I will buy 4 female with 2 rams. Bring them and see what the outcome will be in the next year. Fortunately, when I did that one, by the time we go to 1 year, I see myself with 10. 10.
Oh, you mean the 6 plus, or you have had another 10?
No, they gave birth. The other one gave birth to a twin. 2 of them gave birth to a twin, and the other one gave birth to a single. So those ones, the following year, I was unable to slaughter them for the Tobaski.
Okay.
But by the second year, they were fit for that. So looking at that, I decided the next time when I go as a short-term program, I'm going to buy some few rams and bring them. When I came, I can tell you, the rams that I bought at 4,000 were sold at 8,000 in the Gambia.
Wow.
So I said this one is a good business, and I don't have to depend on buying. We have to encourage our youths and people in the community so that they grow and they can be selling. You'll be surprised, within a short period of time, though I live in a center where you have a lot of people in the village, but I was able to raise 40 rams in my home. You see the place the last time. Within that time, I sold this ones in the Tobaski, and I was able to get 280,000.
Wow.
280,000. And I told you the last time when I sold them, because this is a community where you can have land in a very easy way. Getting money up to the next Tobaski was not the best idea for me. So I decided to invest also on land business. So I got some lands where he went, and I don't buy land and leave them like that. I start developing them small by small. With the amount I got from the animals, I bought land. With the amount from them, I'm building a house for them. So within the next 5 years, what I want to do, to have 100 at a time, which is not going to be easy, but it is going to create employment for others in terms of feeding them, in terms of the medical program that they have to go into the animal. But actually, the animal husbandry is something that we can change our country. And there is a double win or triple win-win situation in animal husbandry. One, when you are living with animals. You can sell them to earn money. Their dumps can be used as manure. You can do gardening at the same place. And you can provide
mixed farming,
mixed farming at the same time. So as far as I am concerned, right now, that is, even though the vehicle farm is what is giving me the fastest and more money than the animal, but this is a passion that I have with the animal. You become friend to the animal, you like them. You like them in such a way that when you are selling, some of them when they are going, you don't want to see. You just sell them. When they are picking, you just have to go out of the thing. Yeah. So it's a passion that you have,
so
and that is what I like about that.
You build that connection with them.
You are connected with the animals.
And instead of you just hiring another transport for animal feed and all of that, you do it yourself.
Yes.
So it's more like an interrelated business. They're both related.
Yeah, that's very true. And in fact, as far as I am concerned, anything that I go in for, it seems it's easier. For example, as you said, sometimes you know what happens? When I'm going to Basse, some people take me for a trip to go to Basse. So when I go and drop the trips, on my way back, you have a lot of haze around the road. So instead of taking another things, you can easily get them easily. So sometimes you will need hay at Bikamabar, but you cannot go there directly. But you wait for a time, make a connection with somebody. When you get a trip, go and get your trip. They pay you. On your way back, you have to pay for them. So when I'm doing that one, sometimes the trip is not the most important thing for me. Even if you pay me the minimal just to cover my fuel, I just go there because of the person I have, the person I have for the animal. Once their food is achieved, I feel very happy and comfortable.
Wow, amazing. Yeah. So how many plots of land? The last time you were telling me you have about, is it?
16.
16, yeah, amazing. Look at him, a young Gambian with all these businesses, and now he's able to have about 16 plots of land. That is amazing. How are you able to, okay, I know it's through your business, but how does it work?
Yeah, it's all about planning. When you plan to do something, in fact, it was 16. Now I bought one, a new one, just 2 weeks back. That makes it 17.
Amazing.
But you don't need to keep all this one. You use it as a guarantee because you know what you do. We live in a community where land is becoming a problem now. Gambia is a country where we have to help each other. We live in this social networking system where you have brothers and you have friends who live in other areas who may need. I don't intend to keep all this land. There are things that I use as a guarantee, and anytime I have a trouble or I need finance, if I don't have to depend on the bank, I can just go and do land banking.
Yeah.
For example, there was a guy who wanted a land from me because looking at the nature of job that I do and the type of person I am, it's easy for people to get land from me than other people. So I keep 16 in case there is a need for me to buy one or sell one and get money, I can easily do it. So that's the reason why I keep these ones. But there are few that you see, I'm trying to put certain things there because buying land and selling all of them sometimes don't make very good sense.
You have
we as Gambians,
plan for the future.
The way things are going in the Gambia, if we don't be careful, we become tenant in our own country.
Wow.
That is going to be serious.
Yeah.
Because we'll be renting in our own. It started in some areas where you see natives of the village don't have a space to live, they have to rent. We have to avoid that one. That's the reason why I'm buying these lands, and I get them, and I make sure that any land that I get, even if I don't develop it to a particular standard, but I make sure that I protect them, I pay their documents, pay their rents, the taxes,
and make sure you
make sure that I fence it into a way that people can use it at the moment.
That's amazing. So as a young entrepreneur, a young businessman, what are some of the challenges that you've encountered, and how did you get to overcome them?
Anyway, there are a lot of challenges in any business that you do, and depending on the type of job that you're doing. For example, on the transport, sometimes we don't have like good materials for the vehicles. No matter what you buy, for example, if you buy a brand new vehicle from CFAO, you bring it here or Germany, when they got problems, you don't get their parts. What you do is you have to go to the parkers, and these are materials that have been used by other vehicles. That's spare parts is a problem on that one. And the level of understanding of the community also makes it very difficult for you to encourage other youths to come and take what you are doing. Because for instance, today, when you are driving a truck, you are paid more than $5,000. That's a basic salary. You allow the person to take his breakfast, his lunch, and he's paid money from the farm. At the end of the day, you find it very difficult to have a good driver. Most of the times when you call a driver, they are not committed to their job.
Okay.
You know, people will be following them for a job for a long period of time.
Instead of you following people, people will be following you instead.
And one concept that Gambians have, people who give you their dalasi are the most important customers in your life.
Yeah.
You, the owner of the material, you know, you serve as a servant, because if not because of their dalasis, you don't earn anything. So you have to respect their job. Anytime they demand, if you can do, tell them that I can do. If you cannot, give them a good appointment. It's better for me to give you a long appointment than telling you what is not going to happen. So as a result of that, you know, you find it very difficult to have people who will always get that promise. That one is a challenge. On the side of the animals, feeding sometimes is a problem because of the nature of our country, because of the agricultural policies in the Gambia. Grazing areas are not being left for the animals. That's one thing. Animal feeds are not available in the Gambia as they do in Senegal. If you go to Senegal now, locally, with the use of maize, coos, and millets, they can mix them, and you have factories that specialize on that. They can help. So here in the Gambia, feeding for the animals, very, very difficult. Very difficult. And whereas you get them, they become very, very expensive. Coupled with that, the nature of the thieves also. Sometimes you grow up to 10, 20 animals. You'll be surprised, they look very nice. One day you come and you lose everything. So that one is another challenge that you do. So anytime you have, security for the animals is very, very difficult. And you know, some people don't mind. I can tell you, if you go and ask these cattle and ram owners, you want to keep your animals away from people, sometimes you have certain kind of attacks that can even cost your life. So that used to be a very good policy in the Gambia. When you get an animal, for example, from Gunjur, you cannot cross C4 without providing papers. But based on the fact that these people knows the down routes now, you know, you'll be surprised because we've been experiencing that one. You'll just be sitting and you see people coming. You don't know where they come from. Just jump on animals. That happens to people who don't keep their animals together. But even whereas you put your animals together, they'll just attack them. I got some experience in that. If you go to my farm, you'll see a lot of big irons where people come and trying to break the road, the doors. But because of the noise that they make and the way we make our farm, you know, they don't succeed. But if they succeed, these people destroy something that you've been working for so long. So security of the animals and the farmers also is a problem. So these are some of the challenges that you do. And when it comes to this other business, cement, yes, people want to buy. But most of the times, you know, the price of cement, anytime you want to buy a cement or sell it, the only amount you get is $10 on a bag. For example, you need to buy, the cement and the transport will cost you $265. Then you need only $10. Out of every $26,500, you get only $1,000. What happens normally is, because of this maslaha syndromes in the Gambia, you see a contractor who will come to you, ask you to give him 10 bags of cement with the promise that he is going to pay you. You know what they do? They just take it and they delay your money, or sometimes they don't even pay you. And this is affecting most of us as Gambians. That's why Gambians have been discouraged in the business. You see these foreigners like the Fullers, the Mauritanians and the like, or the Indians. They are people like us. In fact, when they set up their program, it's we, the Gambian youths, who work for them. The only difference is they are strict with their program. We are not strict with our program. And because of the social network, Yaga, you will come to me, I want a cement, 2-3 bags. You don't understand 265 bags is the price of 25 bags. It's the profit of 25 bags of cement. So if you take 1 bag of cement from me, at the most convenient time, at the easiest way, you fail to pay me back, at the end of the day, you get discouraged and you leave the business. When you leave it, you know what happens to us? It's these foreigners who will come. And it's a very simple. They will not give rent. They will not give loans. At the end of the day, they succeed. That's why you see so many foreigners working in our Gambian, in our Gambian making, and they don't have those kind of troubles. That is affecting us very, very well. So we should try, in as much as people are trying to work, the community support is needed. The government needs to support, but the community, because if I establish a business like the one I do in Gunjur, I can tell you, I sell cement at the cheapest price in the community as of now. No matter how difficult the situation is, cement is $275 at my place. You go to other places, it's $280, $290, $295. For us to help the community, you know what we do. If Gambians are encouraged to do it and we control the prices, foreigners will not decide on what happens in our community. I live in a typical village in Gunjur, where fishing is a predominant activity. During the Tubaski, Tamharit, and so on. When the Senegalese are back, we don't eat. When the Fullers decided, just in their election, they decided not to bake bread, and there was no bread in the community. Wow. So Gambians should be encouraged, as I'm telling you, related to my business. If we encourage our youths to get cement, get the guarantee, they are selling at the price, we can use to control our price for ourselves without depending on the foreigners. Because what the foreigners need is what we do in Europe. We just go there to multiply our money and come back. We don't mind about their development. So they don't also mind about our development. And I'm going to tell you a very interesting story. There was a guy last week, I was talking with an Indian. He said, today, when you give me a Gambian passport, Gambian visa, and the American one, I will choose the Gambian, because this is a country where you come with light conditions, you attain what you want. That one has been manifested at Jimpex. How many shops are there? How many are owned by Gambians? How many are owned by foreigners? That's a clear justification of what I'm saying. Yes,
yeah, thank you. So finally, a message to the young people that are watching you. What message would you like to send across to them?
This is a country where the majority of people are Gambian, are young people. If you look at the age 45 downward, form 60% of our population. So my message to the youth is we should first of all try to get educated. The first key to success or any kind of development that you want to do in this community is to get the stuff inside. Because an educated society or an educated person is a prepared person. If you get the education, it helps you to start up something. If you get educated, don't always wait for public government employments. We have to, in fact, be creative in what we are doing. Creativity does not come from the schools. It comes from the environment that you live in and get in contact with people who you took as an inspired person. For example, you look at a person or you look at a society that you live in. Any person that you see succeeded, try to solve a particular social problems, not concentrated on the money, but later they become millionaires. So you have to be creative, be strong-headed, get a correct focus, get an aim for yourself. At the end of the day, if you work towards what you want to do, you succeed.
You will.
Let us stop sitting down. I am not saying people are sitting down, because it's very difficult, especially in our community. Sometimes you take an interview, people will say, you say people are sitting down. No, you can sit down and hang up as many as possible. People who know me know that I do play as I work. And I like a proverb in one of my brother's vehicle who said, work as hard as you play. If you divide what you do on a day, most of the times that you relax is more than what you work. But the time that you go to work, you make sure that you do as effectively as possible. So in as much as the youths are growing and we are the future of this community, you have to start working or get your preparatory training when you are young. Let us be willing to be participating in activities that can give us gainful earning in this community. If we all come together, collective work also is very important. We participated in groups and individuals. No matter what you do as an individual, there are things that you do that need to come from people. You know, you can do anything for yourself, everything for yourself. For example, me, myself, if you get 4 trucks, what can I do? I have to drive one and the others have to go to people. Invite people to your farm, invite people to your estate so that you create employment. They will benefit from what you earn. They will also benefit, you will also benefit from them. At the end of the day, particular social problem will be solved in this community and we can grow to any level. But the Gambia, as we are, we, the youths, especially the young one, need to be the architect of the development that we need. If we want to leave it into people who are old, I am not saying because they have experience, but if we want to live entirely on the elderly people, they just plan for themselves. Actually, as a youth, I have to plan for the kids, myself, and the future. But if you want to leave everything on the elderly people who at least did not have the power, strength and the power at the moment, we are bound to fail.
Sure. Thank you very much, Hatab. It's actually great having you on the show. And I wish you all the best in your endeavors. And hopefully we will have you on the show back, huh?
Anyway,
and see a bigger scale of what you're doing.
Yeah, that was going to be great. And Yaka, once we got the contract now, you know, it's not even only me who is doing, but there are a lot of activities that we do.
We are coming back.
Yeah, this is a personal program that we do. But even within the community, we can, you know, introduce this program as a bigger one, meeting people at their areas, and within a short period of time, this is also a very good inspiration, because knowing what you're doing, keeping it at your own side, sometimes did not help. But, you know, as an inspirational person, when people see this one, because when I'm doing, maybe it's a very few that is doing. So I'm very, very grateful to the crew that are here entirely to come out and take videos and photos of all what we do. When you go out, people see what we're doing. It inspires people.
Yeah, it does.
And at the end of the day, this is exactly what we need. And I want to say one thing. Gambia is a country where you can change your life in 6 months. For example, get 50 by 25. You see this pawpaw tree? You just grow 100 of them. In one tree, you'll get more than $3,000. 3,000 by 100 is $300,000. So within 6 months, you are able to change your money.
That's true.
You can change your system. So these are some of the things, and so many things that we can do. You can go into animal husbandry within 2 weeks. When you have a brother, when you have the support from somewhere, go out, go to the provinces, go to Senegal, buy your rams, you know, get 1,000, 2,000, 100 is 100,000. So within 1 week, you get that one. You can't get that one anywhere in the world. Go into agriculture in 6 months, you feel not like sitting down again. Like if you go to the beach, you know, these people who carry loaders, you load 100 crates, you get 3,500 a day. So there are so many things that we know in the Gambia, and we have to put value on ourselves. Imagine the amount of mangoes we get in our country. Imagine the amount of oranges that we have. At a bigger scale, the government has to help, because if in during the course of the mango season you come to Gunjur, you will cry. You know, you see a lot of mangoes being wasted. You see a lot of oranges. Any country that depends on mango on raw, you don't develop. These juices that we meet, these are mangoes from our own environment. They send them to Europe, process them, and come back. Before we go to Europe, before we send them to Europe, sell them at a very cheap price, and they come back to us in a value program when they are customized. So it's better we provide certain things for our environment. Before, you know, talking to people about this back way, when they come back into the country, what do? Create that environment for them so that they can work. So if that one we have as a country, as a community, at the end of the day, people will stay and work. It's very easy to stay in the Gambia and work. I can assure you. You go to Bissau, you go to Senegal, you go to Mali, very difficult. But in the Gambia, you can come within 3 days, you start your job.
Wow.
So, but people need to be given the supporting money to start up a business. Though the youth, some of them are eager to go out to Europe and see, but proper programs in the Gambia will make us to stay and do as people are doing.
Great.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Hatab, for those inspirational words. Like he said, you don't necessarily have to wait for the government to do everything for you. Take Fee is obviously here. You can start an initiative by yourself. All you need to do is just to be innovative, get the right people to support you, and at the end of the day, you will be able to achieve and acquire all that you need. You can become a millionaire in the Gambia without even stepping your foot outside the Gambia. I would like to send a special thank you to Jealous Creation, located in Bakau, for my beautiful outfit. My outfit is from Jealous Creation. The numbers are right on the screen. You can contact them if you want to look good as I am looking right now. So till we come your way next week, do have a great weekend. Thank you for joining us.